Hey, what's up everybody? Devilore here with another match from the Kaze SC2 Tournament that took place in the donor forums on tankspot.com. A little bit of semifinals action going on here today. We have Ghost spawning as the yellow Terran here down at the south position here on Lost Temple. And up here in the north, we have Detriment as the purple Protoss. Now, I want to remind everybody this is just a fun tournament between some friends, nothing too crazy, no big cash prize or anything like that. Just having some fun playing some StarCraft. We have seen some really good play out of both of these players, though, at this point. Detriment, of course, being the guy that knocked Kaze out of the tournament. He had some really solid and great Protoss play, and then Ghost with some just crazy macro skills, being able to take Musclebound out earlier just by having way more stuff. So Ghost's going to be going ahead and walling up here at his choke here. Going to be dropping barracks down either here or here, depending on whether he wants to get an add-on for it. And looks like Detriment doing a little bit of scouting around, bouncing off of that Xel'Naga tower. No scout out for Ghost yet, but that's pretty normal. Protoss, for some reason, just tends to scout sooner than Terran do in this matchup. I'm not completely sure why, but nothing too crazy happening yet. Doesn't look like we're gonna have any sort of cheesy play. No proxy barracks, no proxy gateways. We've got the gateway now actually going down up here in the main for Detriment. So it looks like both players are looking to do just some pretty standard normal build. This probe's going to come in here and... Okay, maybe he's going to turn around and... Alright, I don't know what this probe's doing, but at some point he's going to come up here and scout out this... In fact, now he's just going to sit there. He's going to come up here and scout out. Eventually, I imagine, he will probably take 3 steps up this ramp and see this barracks up here. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to see that that's up there. He's going to see that it's making a Marine. He's going to wisely go away because Marine versus Probe... Ghost says hi there. Marine versus Probe generally does not come out in favor of the Probe. In fact, there's about a 100% loss rate for probes in that scenario, unless the Marine has been drinking all night and is not feeling too up to actually firing his weapon. SCV scouting around inside of Detriment's main here. He's going to see he is in fact chrono boosting probes. He's not doing anything crazy, no two gate anything like that. Just getting this cybernetics core up, and I imagine he is actually making a zealot. Usually we'll see a Protoss player wait to get the cybernetics core up and then make a stalker so that they can get that SCV out of there a little bit quicker, just because the stalker can actually shoot the SCV from range. But no big deal either way. Zealots are still decent units. He just is apparently not quite as fast. He's in fact a very slow person. Looks like we actually have an expansion coming up for Ghost down here. He's making this command center and another barracks, so he's probably going to be wanting to go for some quick two racks pressure into expand, which is pretty normal. He's getting this refinery up. Oh, actually another gate or another barracks coming down now too. So 3 barracks into expand. So we'll probably see some pretty decent pressure coming out of him soon. Oh, this probe comes up though. Did he actually? Yes, he did actually see all of that. He saw the expansion coming. He saw the 2 extra barracks being added on, and then he saw a whole lot of bullets headed directly at his face. But yeah, that's some really good information for Detriment there. He's going to be able to respond, and yeah, there he goes. Dropping down 2 more gateways because he knows that some pressure is coming, and he's probably going to want to get up some more units here. Looks like he's actually thinking about expanding himself here at some point in the near future. So both players actually doing something very similar. A 4th barracks now coming out for Ghost. So we're going to be seeing just a whole lot of units coming out of him very soon here. Tech lab going down. He's probably going to want to be getting some of those essential upgrades, such as stim. Possibly something else. I will be keeping an eye on that to see what he does. Expansion is now going down for Detriment. And looks like his warp gates have just finished. He should be able to morph that in now, as well as these 2 other gateways. So his production capacity is now increased tremendously, and he will definitely be able to get up plenty of units to fight off this force when this push eventually comes. If this push eventually comes. In fact, he could actually just go ahead and push now. He should. Okay, so he's just going to make some SCVs out of this instead of actually expanding with it. I don't know why he has decided to do that. I don't know if he just feels like he's very under pressure or something. He hasn't He hasn't actually seen much in Detriment's main, so he should be doing a little bit better scouting. In fact, there we go. He's actually dropping a scan right as soon as I say that. Does he see this robotics facility? It's not terribly important, but I would like to check anyway. He did see that robotics facility going down. It was right on the edge of his scan there, so he knows that if he waits too long, there are definitely going to be some Colossus or something that will eat these Marines to shreds. So he should probably, I really would like it if he moved that command center over and expanded. That would be fantastic. Expansion is now up for Detriment. He can begin mining out of that at some point. Looks like he is going to do so, transferring down some probes, no problem. And just sitting here with a decent sized force, getting ready to do something at some point. Both players playing very, very passively. Not a whole lot of early pressure going on. They want to get to that mid or end game, late game state and be able to get their big, gigantic death ball of units of whatever it is they happen to like the most, and move out with that instead. Concussive Shell's now finishing for Ghost down here. In fact, he's getting some Ghosts out as well. I'm not sure. There's the Ghost Academy. So he's getting some Ghosts out to be able to help deal with these Protoss units, and it looks like he might move out. He is elected not to get stimmed, though, which is kind of surprising. Pretty much every Terran ever, always, in the history of anything has at some point gotten stim. So, so interesting that he is, in fact, choosing to buck the trend and fight the power. He's not giving in to peer pressure. His friends are doing drugs, but he does not want any of that. But he is going to start moving out here soon. Looks like Detriment's probe or stalker or something, there's actually a stalker there, is going to be able to see this and should probably begin moving away. Or it can die horribly. That's also an option. It's not as good of an option, but it is an option nonetheless. Horrible death. Looks like Ghost's actually going to come up here and make a little bit of a push. There are a ton of Zealots here, though, and Sentries as well, so not sure that that's actually a good thing to move into there. Should probably be looking to just do a little bit of a contain and keep Detriment honest. Not wanting him to take too much in the way of expansions while both players are being so passive. We do have, however, a... oh, never mind. We got a little bit of a attack going on here. He's going to push him back here to this Xel'Naga Watchtower. That is a sizable force, but here we go. They're going to do some attacking. EMP goes off, takes out all the energy on these... oh, no, he missed two of the sentries with that energy, or with that EMP. He does have a lot of forces, but there are some... some force fields in the back here keeping them in. Looks like, however, Detriment is just going to be able to take this out. Maybe, I don't know, this is really, really close. It's very close to call at this point. There is a Marine and a Marauder left. A couple of reinforcements coming in very, very slowly for Ghost here. And it looks like he will be able to push off this force, but it's such a close fight. Yeah, this one Stalker and this one Sentry actually had Detriment actually reinforced at any point in that fight. Which I imagine he probably would have been able to. That would have gone much, much differently. But either way, end result was a very, very mixed exchange. I'm actually going to check the units tab here. No, the resources tab. That's what I'm looking for. 49 food for Detriment versus 54 food for Ghost. So still very, very even. Detriment says, I have no army left. And Ghost says the same. In fact, they're just basically commentating for me at this point. They're saying the exact same thing I was just saying. Both players are very, very low on the actual unit counts at this point. I want to compare the SCVs real quick. Yeah, even that's really, really close. 2 SCVs and 2 mules for Ghost, and just 42 probes for Detriment. So the very, very even game at the moment. Could really go either way with another exchange there. However, Ghost is managing to keep a little bit of a contain going on just by keeping control of this Xel'Naga Watchtower and making sure that that Detriment cannot move out, is not going to be able to expand anytime soon. In fact, he could actually probably be taking his gold if he knocked down those expansion or those rocks, or even moving over here and taking another expansion. Both would be a great choice for Ghost in this position. We do, however, have a whole lot of Zealots up for Detriment. That is a lot of Zealots up for Detriment. and moving up now with some more Marauders and just continuing to rally units up there. Wow, that is a lot of SCVs queued up. That is actually 200 minerals worth of SCVs queued up. Doesn't matter too much because he's sitting at 500, but he wants to make sure he does not miss a single beat on his SCV production. At least at that command center. The other one's doing just fine. Have more supply depots. Looks like he's getting a little bit supply blocked here. Never something you want to have happen. Detriment just continuing to macro up. I saw a little bit ago there is in fact, yes, a Templar Archives is now up and running. Looks like he's getting a forge for some other upgrades as well, and he's just now started working on Storm, so should be seeing some Templar coming out from Detriment here pretty soon. Scan shows all of the entire army of Detriment, so Ghost knows exactly what he is up against. And in fact, he's scanning to kill that observer as well, so pretty good choices for scans by Ghost there. Wants to keep his opponent in the dark as much as possible while also keeping track of his own stuff. And yeah, both players are just sitting back again, getting back into this macro mode where they try to build up as big of an army as they possibly can and then smash them together like 2 rocks, or perhaps a tambourine or something like that. I haven't actually seen a tambourine in years. But that's not important right now. What is important is this forge is now researching the, what is that, the +1 upgrade. First upgrade, I'm actually going to check if either player has gotten any upgrades. No upgrades yet for Detriment, and no upgrades yet for Ghost. So, kind of a little bit of a slip up there on both players' part. He's going to be sending in this Marine. This Marine takes a stim pack, and is overcome by the immediate high, and runs into a whole bunch of Zealots. Not the greatest way to go out, but there's certainly worse ones. As far as Marines go, I imagine you would just get made fun of for dying peacefully in your bed. So yes, good on that Marine. We do have Thors now coming out for Ghost. Not getting any upgrades or anything, so that's certainly an interesting choice. I haven't seen Thors used a whole lot in this matchup, so that'll be interesting to see how well it ends up working out. Meanwhile, these High Templar are up. They do have Storm research. He is in fact working on the Kaze amulet to be able to get that Storm out much quicker. But it looks like he's actually going to come out here and engage. The Zealots have charge, so they're able to move in very quickly, doing a complete surround on this army and just ripping it to shreds. The EMP goes off, takes away most of the... Oh, he missed these 2 other Templar. They can actually get off a Storm if they feel like it, but doesn't look like it's going to be necessary. Those Zealots are just ripping everything to shreds. Ghost's army is completely gone at this point. This one Marauder running away. Oh no, this is not a position you want to be in, Mr. Marauder. You have made poor choices in life, one of which was to be a Marauder. There are these 2 Thors up. Wow, is that... Ghost actually has the Collector's Edition Thor. That's pretty fancy looking. I have not noticed that before. Those things look pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of jealous right now. I kind of wish I was a Terran player. Poor Stalker wanders just a little bit too close. These Marines, I don't know what those Marines were thinking moving in there. Those Zealots have charge. You don't want to be there. That's bad news for you. Oh, now they're getting into the mineral line and ripping this apart. Things are not looking good for Ghost at this point. He just has basically these 2 Thors and a couple of Marauders up there to defend. 1 Marauder, 2 Thors, 2 Marines are all of the units that Ghost currently has. He's sending his SCVs into fight, lifts up the command center. He's going to be moving that back, but this is not looking great. Oh, and the Storm goes off. The unfortunate thing about Storm is that when you're using it in conjunction with Charged Zealots, it's actually just kind of bad because you end up killing your Charged Zealots, and that may actually be what saves Ghost at this point. He is finally being able to push these back a little bit. He has 3 Thors up now. This 1 Thor is going to fall, but the 2 Thors are still up. They're going to be able to take out those Stalkers no problem and be able to push this force back. Ooh, a little bit of a misfire there from... Is this thing actually going to burn down? No, he is going to repair. A little bit of a misfire there from Detriment. It's easy to forget about that, but when you use Psionic Storm, I almost said Divine Storm. I play my Paladin too much. When you use Psionic Storm and you have Zealots in there, it hits those too. There is friendly fire from the Psionic Storm, and it looked like he was trying to take out the SCVs, but unfortunately he ended up doing more damage to himself than to his opponent, just because the SCVs weren't that big of a deal. He is out this expansion now at this point. He's going to have to get those SCVs back up. But Otherwise, it wasn't the greatest move. He killed most of his own zealots, it looked like, with that Psionic Storm. So he's now moving out. He has these 3 Thors and a handful of Marines and Marauders and even some SCVs in there as well to be able to repair the Thors. Looks like Detriment is finally now realizing he can't just sit on 2 bases forever and trying to take out these rocks, but in the meanwhile, those Zealots are caught out of position and he's going to move in here. He scanned, but that may actually have been in Detriment's favor because now these Zealots are going to come in from behind and be able to pinch this off. I don't know that there's enough there. Oh, the storm goes down again. That's a great storm. Very well positioned. It looks like, did he actually, there's still 2 SCVs left that are repairing these Thors, but that's much fewer than there were currently. One of the Thors goes down. Not much left here for Detriment at this point, though. The Zealots are moving in, trying to do anything they can. He's getting more and more gateways up, but they're not all morphed into warp gates, and they're not all doing anything. He's sitting very, very high on the minerals. He should be able to get enough units out to defend this in time, but oof, very, very quick turnaround there by Ghost coming in here with these Thors. It's doing a lot of damage. They're not the greatest unit overall, but they do have a really, really good damage output. So it looks like he's going to move in for a storm, or what is he doing? I don't know. He's sending in these Zealots instead, though. They're going to go in there and actually not do nearly as much as they could have. That was actually pretty one-sided. It looks like these Thors are going to be fine. The SCVs are moving back in to repair this one, and now Detriment is actually in a really, really bad position. There is, however, still one Zealot in there slowly whacking away at them. Looks like he's going to fall, but the Nexus falls. The probes are getting just taken apart, and this is okay. That is a lot of Zealots right there. How many gateways does he have? Holy hell, that's a lot of gateways. He does not have a mining base, though, at this point, and this is great positioning here by Ghost. See, they're only able to attack 1 Thor at a time. They are eventually going to be able to take these down, unless... Oh, no, he just barely doesn't get there with the medevac to pick that up in time. It looks like... oh, no, just a whole ton of units actually just kind of standing around doing nothing. But there are a lot of units that Ghost really could be moving up in here to kill off Detriment at this point, but isn't. This Marauder is going to take those out no problem. Or, excuse me, this Immortal is going to take out those Marauders no problem. Yeah, just getting ripped apart. And, wow, that's just mostly SCVs actually there in the middle of the map. So, not a great position for Ghost at this point. He did, however, take out this expansion. Detriment is being forced to long-distance mine. He's running very, very low on the money. And needs to be getting up another expansion, another Nexus here very, very soon if he wants to have a chance to stay in this game. This long-distance mining, if we look at the... I can't remember the name of the tab that I'm trying to find. Income, there we go. If we look at the income tab, Ghost is way ahead. 1,000 minerals to 400 from Detriment. Even with just this one operating base. That's just such a massive difference when you're distance mining like this. I can't talk today. I apologize for that. It's causing problems. However, we do have some more of those fancy-looking Thors coming out for Ghost. This observer spots it. He knows it's coming, but I actually don't think there's anything that Detriment can do to really respond in time for this. He's very, very low on minerals. He's got an Immortal and 2 Zealots. And that's it. That's really the only offensive units he has. If at any point here he's trying to get this expansion back up, but as soon as that scan goes off, he should be able to recognize that this is an easy win for him. All he has to do is attack move, and there really isn't anything that Detriment can do about it. Assuming he chooses to actually attack. If he decides to just sit around, then that's a different story, but he really should be attacking right now. Looks like he's over here trying to spot this expansion. There is a warp prism out. I'm not actually sure that warp prism has done anything this entire game. But here we go, finally moving out here. Looks like he wants to come up and finish this. There really isn't anything, like I said. There are 4 High Templar out that can get 1 storm off each. And then there's just 2 Zealots and an Immortal. And that looks like that's going to end very, very soon. The Immortal goes down. The storms go out, do a good bit of damage, don't quite kill anything though, and there are these medevacs here to heal them back up. This medevac has a ton of energy as well, so that's actually not going to be much of a problem. He's going to morph those 2 into an Archon and get some more up. But if he can hold this off, then he will be in decent enough shape. This expansion will come back up unless he decides to kill it right now. He's going to move in here, takes out the pylon. Looks like he's going for the Nexus. Is he going to be able to finish it in time? Oh no, and the storm goes down, does a decent bit of damage, does take out a few Marines, but is he going to let that Nexus finish? He should really cancel that Nexus. Okay, well the Nexus is going to go down any second now. There it goes. And Detriment is just completely screwed at this point. I don't think there's anything he can do. No matter... Yeah, there we go. There's the GG. Detriment bows out of Game 1. Ghost takes it, and we'll be moving on to Game 2 here in the semifinals of the Kaze SC2 Tournament. I'm going to jump right over to that game right now. I will see you guys in just a second.